Real Business Talk with Tom and Till.
What is the best way to prepare yourself for entrepreneurship? If I might start, Tom, because this is something that's that I tackle every day. I would say, because it's like the requirements. You always have to prove yourself every day to be an entrepreneur, which is to get yourself out of the bed, motivate yourself, and put at least the time in. So for the time, let's start with the first point. I would say the first point for entrepreneurship that you need crucially is 4 hours per day of hardcore hours that you can put in. I do that normally in the mornings, and even if I wouldn't be an entrepreneur yet, I would still try to get this free up in order to have the capacity of doing things. And there are a couple of more points, but I want to play the ball now to you.
No, go ahead. I'm listening. I'm enjoying it.
Okay, so time is one thing, right? Another thing is exercise. Because if you're not an entrepreneur yet, it might be that you don't have the discipline to build something up, to work with the compound effect, which is basically you add every day, you be a bit better. Every day you add a small thing. And with exercising in any sport or weightlifting, whatever you do, it is all these incremental steps that you do. And in entrepreneurship, that's also true. So exercise is a good way to basically build the discipline in the first place. If you're preparing yourself for entrepreneurship, that's exercise. Start with that. Start with the time. Ideally, move out of your parents' house if necessary, because that doesn't help. And another tip I have here on the bottom of the list is stop talking about your ideas. So there's a great book called The Silent Power by Stewart Wild, which is great in that regard. To many people who are not entrepreneurs yet, they have always their ideas, and we know these people. They're always there. They will be always there, and they talk too much. So yeah, stop talking about the ideas and execute.
Yeah, the problem with talking about ideas is that it fools your brain into thinking that you accomplished something. So the second you tell someone that you're going to do something or that you're starting to work on something, like your brain feels like, oh, the pleasure spots already get ignited a little bit. And if it's something that's going to take a lot of effort, it's going to be really, really hard for you to get it done if you start telling people too early. But I think if you're starting to be a business person, that probably means you're moving from being a student or being a worker, right, into this field, usually, or from being unemployed, or I don't know what else you can be. But the main thing I've noticed is that to really make this happen is you need to change the way you look for permission to do things. So if you're a student or if you're a worker, you're going to need to ask your boss or teacher for permission to proceed with something, right? So it's more a permission-based things, where when you're doing things by yourself, the only person that should be giving yourself permission is yourself. And that's really hard for some people to tackle. It's hard to actually take responsibility for your life and your actions. So the only person you can blame at that point too, if something doesn't work out, is you. You can't say, oh, this teacher doesn't know shit, that's why I got a bad grade. Oh, the boss is full of it too, we're doing mindless tasks. But in this game, if you're doing mindless tasks and if things are not working, there's no boss or teacher, it's you. Like you're the one that gave yourself permission to do stupid shit and now you have bad results, so you're to blame.
Okay, I really like that. Now, how would you train that? If you, let's say, you are in a job the last half a year, in 6 months you want to be an entrepreneur, you have already quit maybe, how would you train exactly that?
I think in the beginning, people start with big to-do lists. And they start with all these things they need to learn to start a business, right? And I know doing the 80-20 from the beginning is kind of hard, because when you're starting a business, and this is normal, you're going to be bad at just doing everything, right? So you're going to practice things, and it's going to seem like you're putting a lot of effort to get small results. But within a few months, if you don't give up, right, and you don't blame other people for all your failures, in a few months, maybe in a year, if you're really a slow learner, you're going to start seeing some things are making more progress than other things. And when you tackle those things, the results will come a little quicker. And also, when you're making a decision, you should always have a plan B. Because like I said, you're in control now. There's no one to blame and there's no one else to save your ass. So if you're going to do something, always think of also what are the bad things that can happen and make plans for those things. And then just go for it.
Yeah, so basically it's to start with things that you do every day and reflect on them. I mean, I'm imagining if you're still in a job. I mean, you can start the business already on the side, right? And you could train that actually to work proactively and work on your own.
Well, I mean, hopefully if you're starting a business, you have a goal, right? And I don't mean a money goal. Those are stupid goals. Like a goal of something that you want to finish, something you want to accomplish, something you want to share with people, right? And you work your way backwards. So if we're filming, let's say, a movie, we got to figure out, okay, well, what's the message first? Who do we want to have in the movie? Then we got to figure out who's going to film it, where's the gear coming from, the locations. We work backwards, right? And every step that we take, let's say we're going to film tomorrow, we have 2 locations. What happens if those 2 locations all fall through? We just got to have a backup plan. Screw it, we're going to do it in the lobby of this hotel. And before they kick us out, hopefully we get one done, right? If that doesn't work out, we'll go to McDonald's. I mean, screw it, right? There's always going to be a different option, but you got to come up with those. I think when people start things and there's no one to ask permission, like, because you can't blame anyone. When you're starting your day, you can't say like, well, I got to do advertising, but I don't know which thing I should advertise or how should I do it, and I can't ask anyone. And since I'm not really thinking about what's going to happen if I fail, maybe let's just not do anything, right? And let's just blame the world. Maybe let's just read about the economy. Economy's shitty, that's why I can't do it, right? Because it's easy. I mean, you can fall into different things, right?
Yeah, I agree with that. It's solving all the problems that you have on the way. That's the job you got to do once you want to accomplish anything.
If you liked what you heard, please leave us a review on iTunes.
They do matter.
Also, come and hang out with us on our website, yourownwayout.com. That's yourownwayout.com. See you soon.